Welcome to Fantasy Kingdom. I am your host, Mikey. I am down in the basement today. Upstairs, we got my partner in crime, Tommy. What's going on, brother?
What is
And
going on? Week 10 fantasy football.
right, and then we have our normal, basement dweller, Howie, sitting up top, who is leading our X Factor rankings. So how you doing,
That's
buddy?
right. I'm doing good. I'm good. The air up here is a little thin. I don't know. I'm kind of used to being down in the dark.
We'll go around the league. Obviously, Falcons, Panthers, Thursday night football. We'll start with Howie. I know you don't actually watch the game, but you follow the game. Um, did it surprise you to see the Panthers be able to run for 200 yards on the Falcons?
No, I think the Panthers they don't have a whole lot of talent on that team, but they got some sort of cohesiveness right now that might carry them for a few games. I'm not really surprised that they did well, but I don't see them going. That division. What the leaders got 4 wins.
Yeah,
right
4 and 5, Tampa Bay.
So everybody's in it. Everybody's in it, and if they can just keep their shit together, who knows?
Only Brady can have a losing record and still be in first place. That lucky.
I do think it was pretty stupid of Mayfield headbutting every guy on his team though, without a helmet on. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
After the game, they're coming up, boom. It's like who was it? Gus Farrat did that one
anyway.
year.
He's not playing anyway, so
Right, but I was hoping he'd pop up from one of them and there'd be a little trickle of blood coming down his forehead.
Yeah.
Just to say, oh, how stupid are you? Like that year Gus Farrat did it for the Redskins.
Yep.
Gave himself a concussion.
Yeah.
That's
Tommy, does it surprise you that they didn't use Cordell Patterson more?
Yes, because I started him on my fan. He had a good game, bounce back game last week, so I started him over Foreman. I have such a rough lineup. I don't know who to start anymore. Foreman was bad last week, then he bounced back, had a good game this week. So I'm gonna go back. It's like a cycle with me with him. So I don't know, but yes, I am. I am surprised that Atlanta is not utilizing Patterson more, but maybe he's not 100%. I'm not sure, but he is. Like, it's him and Pitts, man. Like, those are the guys in Atlanta right now. Mariota is an average quarterback.
And London. Yeah, London.
London's
been playing well.
Yeah, but with those guys, that's your only chance, man. Those 3 guys, and if you get one not involved, you're screwed. And Carolina did just enough, man. Like, they got the run game going. They controlled the clock. Atlanta had no answers, and yeah, it speaks for itself, man. Game over. Carolina had a chance though at the very, very end. They just could not stop. I don't know what the hell Mariota was doing, by the way. He was, and the offensive line. The offensive line at that last drive on the 4th down. He had no time. I don't care who you are at that time. He had no.
Let the D in.
He whiffed. Just went right past.
Went right by him.
Yeah, he had no opportunity. I don't care who was back there. I love Josh Allen, but he would have got sacked too at that point.
Yeah.
There was no opportunity. I mean, that guy was in the backfield in what? Less than 2 seconds? Uh-oh.
Howie disappeared.
He did disappear. But anyways, just not good. Not good for Atlanta. They have problems, but hey, that division's so bad. They still have an opportunity to win it. That's how bad that division is.
Yep. All right, we'll move into the bye weeks. This week we have Cincinnati, New England, New York Jets or New Jersey Jets, and the Baltimore Ravens. Injuries. We have some quarterback injuries that are all questionable going into this week. Josh Allen.
Big
so
injury.
Let me ask you, because we didn't connect this week on any of our shows together. Do you want Allen to play or do you want him to sit?
That's a good question, Mikey. I'm not a doctor, and we don't know truly. It's all reports right now. We know that he has an elbow sprain. We know it's a UCL thing, but how bad is it really? Only Allen really knows the pain, right? It may be, listen, it may be way blown out of proportion. He was not even in a brace the other day. He had some tape on it. I mean, so how bad could it, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if it's affecting him as much as people may think it is, because this is just all outside reports of people speculating, right? So listen, here's how I feel about the Allen situation. If Allen is up to it, he feels fine, let him play. I mean, listen, I understand that you want to go for the long run, but if he's feeling good, like not lying about it, like he legit feels fine, there is no reason to sit him or bench him. Let him play. Like this is not a concussion thing where we're like really risky. You know what I mean? Like this is something that he's probably going to have a little pain probably for the rest of the season. I got to tell you that right now. This is something until he has surgery. This is one of those things, guys, where it's just going to be a painful thing for him to go through.
Surgery, might just need to sit.
Yeah, but he
like
may.
he
May. I'm not sure how bad it is, the tear or whatever they call it. But even if he has to do it in the offseason, it's not that big of a deal. He's not a pitcher guy. Like it's a totally different kind of thing for him. So listen, if he's feeling it, let him play. Like, you know what I mean? Other than that, and listen, these games are important, man. We lost to the Jets, man. You want to have a bounce back game. I don't trust Keenum. If he plays, it is what it is. I'm hoping he's ready, but we need these wins, man. We need these wins. We need to bounce back. But yeah, I mean, listen, I understand what Donnie's saying. Let Allen sit and heal. It's not about a healing thing, though. I'm going to tell you right now. This kind of injury is one of those. It's going to be what they call a nagging injury. Yeah. So it's going to just kind of be there the rest of the season. He's just going to have to. They're probably like shoot him up with painkiller. You know how they do, right? Numb it out, and he's just going to have to play through the pain. And how painful. And I will say this too. I know
down for 6 weeks like he did his rookie year.
It'd be really risky at this point. Yeah. Really risky with Keenum. I doubt they're going to do that. I highly doubt it. But I will say, and I know it was a little bit of what do they call it? Like we're you got your body's going through what's that word I'm looking for, Mike? Right after the injury, he threw like another pass.
Oh yeah, he had
adrenaline.
Yeah.
But bro, he dropped that thing.
70 yards on the money, bounced off
the money.
Of Davis'
chest. Yeah. So how bad? Like, and I get it, but he looked all right there. He's a tough kid. He's a young kid. He's had shoulder injuries before. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But would I be mad if they sat him out this weekend? I wouldn't be. Like, you know what I mean? It all boils down to what Allen feels.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you know.
I agree too, Donnie. If Allen isn't there, I think we're gonna see a bit bigger run game. I don't think they drop back 60 times with.
They have to.
Keenum. So let's move into Murray. Murray's been dealing with a hammy. Would you be playing Murray or would you sit him?
See, now that's interesting because it's a hamstring. It will affect his run. That could really mess you up like long run. That's not a longevity thing.
Thread, but they're hanging.
I know.
By a thread.
Yeah, but who's their backup? I don't even know who their backup is.
Colt McCoy.
Yeah, Colt McCoy is actually an all right backup. Yeah. He's all right. So, that's risky. But what's the division look like? I got to look at the division. What's the division? Let me see here. I'm curious on the division because honestly, it boils down to that.
Seahawks are leading. I think.
Okay, so right now, I'm looking at it right now. So Arizona, they're on last at 3-6, Mikey.
Yeah. Welcome back to the.
I don't even know if they have. I got to look at their wild card race, but I honestly, Mikey, they'd have to win out. Not win out, but they got to win a lot of games, bro. They pretty much got to. They can afford to lose one more game and get lucky and get in the playoffs.
Yeah, Donnie, I'm with you on that one, brother. Yeah. Davis. You know what? I blame Tommy for the Davis streaky because every time he picks him as his X factor, he sucks. It's Tommy's fault.
I'm gonna pick him again until he fucking starts catching some balls.
Hey, that's okay. Build my lead.
So, and then the last one, Stafford, who's in the concussion protocol. Obviously, that's kind of out of their hands. It's going to be up to it. Yes. The angry Buffalo sports fan. Sign OBJ. Start using McKenzie as the gadget guy again.
Been saying that.
Yep. Yes. We're with you on that one. Even Howie, who is a non-Bills fan, has said they need to come up with a more reliable number 2 because it's getting ugly out there. So, Howie, why you disappeared? We went through the bye weeks. We went through the injuries, Allen, Murray, and Stafford to the quarterbacks.
Okay.
Now we're gonna hop in. Yeah, nobody trusts McKenzie nowadays. Now we'll hop into the key matchups for this week. We have Lions at Bears. So Howie, I'll start with you. Lions have Goff, Swift, Williams, St. Brown. Bears have Fields, who has made a dramatic jump, and when they started using him as a running back as well. Montgomery, Mooney, and Komet. Who are you expecting to have a big game this week? Because we know the Detroit has one of the worst defenses in football.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think they're both going to score over 30. So start everybody. I like Swift and Williams. Swift is your speed guy, and Williams is the guy who's going to vulture some TDs at the goal line. St. Ra, he should do well, but he just hasn't been the guy we expected from last year. On Chicago, Fields he's having his moment, that's for sure. And with Herbert and Monty and Mooney's going to catch some balls today, but I really like Cole Kmet in this game.
All right. Before we go to Tommy, a question comes in and says, Khalil Herbert or Mac Hollis in PPR?
I like Hollins.
I like Hollis more too, knowing that because Hollis is with the Raiders, right?
Right.
Right.
And Waller's down and Renfro's down.
And
everybody's going to be looking at Devontae. So
yep.
Yeah, he's a sneaky pick.
And Khalil Herbert has been relegated to, just kind of a backup role now that Montgomery's back. He was hitting there for a little while. Montgomery was banged up, but now that Montgomery's back full time, you don't see much of Herbert. So I would go Mac Hollis. I think he has a higher ceiling. Yeah. I think Herbert has a higher floor. Because you know what you're going to get out of him.
Herbert could break a big one and get some points out of it, but Hollins is in PPR is going to get a lot of little ones across the middle. Yeah.
Tommy, thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you guys on Hollins, 100%. Okay.
All right. Then we'll switch to you on this game. Who are you looking at? This is your hometown team, Detroit. Who are you expecting to have a big game this week?
Give me the matchup, Detroit. Who are they facing the Lions this weekend?
The Bears. So it's Lions at Bears. It's in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Chicago. I mean, Fields has been.
Love Justin Fields. We know
he's been playing better last 2 games. I still don't like him. But he has been He's on a little. He's feeling himself right now. So that's good. But I still like the Lions. I do. I think they have more playmakers in Chicago. Their defense is terrible. So, I mean, Chicago could do some pretty good things against the Lions defense, and Fields could have another big game going against a bad defense. But fantasy-wise, I'm going to lean towards the Lions. I think they have more weapons. And that goes for, even though Goff is hit or miss sometimes, the Bears' defense is the middle of the pack. They're also going to give up some yards. Swift is going to get his. St. Brown's going to get his. Like I said, they have weapons. So, I'll go Lions on here. But Bears are also going to get theirs too. I think that's a really tough game to go by on fantasy-wise.
It's a great fantasy matchup. It's a great
matchup.
Except for the defenses. You got either one of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't play them.
You bench both those defenses. Well, I mean, let's be honest. If you're housing one of those defenses in your league, I have to, it better be a super deep league.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you got to
go. It better be like a 15-man league. You'd be housing.
If you're starting those guys, you're probably not in first place.
So Justin comes in and says he wants to see Hines more in the Buffalo game. Here's the problem: Buffalo's offense is extremely complicated, and they talk about it. Me and Tommy talked about it once he got traded over. I don't think you're going to see Hines really get his full repertoire until probably week 14, 15, headed into the playoffs when he has more comfort around this playbook. Because Buffalo out of each play, like every position can run like 5 or 6 routes off of it, and it's all feel. So it's a very complicated offense to learn. So, you'll see him have a handful of plays. I just don't think you're going to fully see what Hines can do until later this year. That's just my thought.
Allen actually had him on a pass in that game.
He underthrew him.
He underthrew him, man. Yeah, I mean, to Mikey's point, listen, it's going to take a little bit. Hines has to adjust pretty much to everything. He has to understand how Allen throws, likes to throw, the playbook, the route, everything. It's going to be a little tricky at first, but I didn't mind that play because it was a very base play. Just go against the linebacker. I think he was against a linebacker at that time, and he beat him. It just Allen. It happens. Allen was a little off. Yeah, so. I can see plays like that though a little bit until he gets into the groove. Like, why not? And maybe Allen will hit him. Hopefully the next time because that would have been a touchdown.
Or little Keenum up the sidelines.
Right. Yeah, Keenum. But who would have maybe hit him there?
Barkley
would have just hung it.
Yeah, Barkley and his floating ball that just is so pretty.
It would have got. Yeah, it would have got there. It would have took forever, but it would have landed.
Right. All right, let's move into our next key matchup. We have Browns at Dolphins. Tommy, I'll start with you. Who are you looking at in this matchup to go off? I mean, it's another really good fantasy matchup.
It is, but the Dolphins, you got to go the Dolphins here, right? They've been playing better. I got to give credit where credit's due.
Offense, yes.
Defense has been terrible, but I'm talking about offense. Since Tua's gotten back, they have been playing much better. Hill and Waddle are weapons, huge weapons. They get theirs every week, it seems. Every week. It seems like both guys are getting 100 plus. Yeah, and they even add a little addition to the running game. I mean, not that that's a big deal. I don't. The running game's still subpar.
Jeff Wilson,
but he helped
a whole lot better than Mostert.
He did. He did. Mostert's fast though.
Mostert likes to break out and get around.
He's a faster back.
He's gone.
Yeah, but Wilson's a good pass catcher too out of the backfield.
Yeah,
which will help Tua when things break down. So, yeah, I'm gonna lean towards the Dolphins on this one. Okay. I think they got a little bit more firepower in offense, but their defense has been awful, which is weird, right? Because they're banged up a lot, but still, like they've just been playing really bad defense the last 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'm with you there. Howie, who are you looking at? Who are you expecting to have a big week this week out of the Browns-Dolphins matchup?
Well, I think Hill's going to get his, and but I like Chubb's matchup this week. And I don't have the exact stats on this. We talked about it earlier, but he's got like 800 yards already, I think, and a bunch of touchdowns. Hasn't been done since Jim Brown did it in 1959. Since I was born. So you know how long ago that was.
Yeah, it's a really, really old record.
Yes, it is. The same year Syracuse won the national championship.
Whew. It's been a long time since they've done that too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In football, it was 1959 that Syracuse did it, but they had Ernie Davis. Jim Brown played for them for a while. He was All-American in lacrosse there at Syracuse. So, yeah, Chubb's tearing it up quietly.
Yeah, 841 yards for Chubb.
Yeah, that's something.
Really
10 touchdowns. Derrick Henry has 870 and 9 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's bounced back after the Bills game.
Running backs are having a good year.
Here's a crazy stat for fantasy. Josh Jacobs is number 4 with 743 rushing yards. And he hasn't done crap in like 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah, well, he had a couple really big.
Yeah.
He loaded them up there. He got about 400 yards in a couple weeks there.
Okay, I'm going to ask you both this question. Can you name who's number 5 in rushing in the NFL? Just take a guess. Tommy, I'll start with you. Guess. Who's number 5 in the NFL in rushing yards? Neither one of you are going to get this.
Without looking.
You're right. It is ETN.
Yeah.
You nailed it, Howie. Travis Etienne is number 5. Damian Pierce is number 6.
That's wild. He's had a good season. He's had a quietly good season.
He wasn't even the full-time starter until about 4 weeks ago.
He's finally fulfilling his college, promises. Basically,
he's doing better than I expected him to do.
Yeah, no, he's
I expected him to be more of like a CJ Spiller type of running back.
Yeah, me too. But we'll see how that lasts. So he's a smaller back. Even CJ Spiller had decent in the beginning, he did have some decent running years. I got to look at his
He had
stats.
over 1,000 yards.
Yes. So, and then because of his size,
He broke down.
you can kind of see he broke down really quick as far as that went, and then that was
He
it.
just
So
kept
we'll
trying
see.
to get to the outside so he didn't get hit.
Yeah, he's a
like
little
that
guy.
Little Giants guy running around the ref. Don't hit me! Don't hit me! Don't hit me!
Yeah,
Blow the
we'll see
whistle,
how long.
blow
like
the
I said.
whistle.
Blow the whistle. Yep. Okay. I'm with you guys both. I love this matchup on both sides of the ball. Hill and Waddle are two absolute freaks at wide receiver. They have so much speed, and I hate that the Miami Dolphins have both of them. I hate it so much as a Bills fan, but they are so freaking good. I love the Chubb and Hunt matchup. I'm sneakily liking Cooper against that banged up defense as well. Ultimately, I think the Dolphins win because I don't think the Browns are that good. But I'll go with the bigger day is probably going to be the wide receiver from Miami. Okay, we'll be moving on down to the Chargers at Niners. Howie, we'll start with you. Who are you expecting to have a big game out of these two guys?
Okay. I don't think the Chargers. Eckler will probably do okay for the Chargers, but also they got left in the wallet is Palmer and Everett.
Is Williams back this week?
No.
Williams not back, and Allen's still out.
Yeah.
Yikes,
So
they're just banged
they're
up.
so weak. I mean, you got a really good quarterback at Herbert, but if he doesn't have anybody to throw to, he's less than average. And San Francisco, boy, they're loaded this week. Everybody's coming back. They're a little banged up on defense, but they got Jimmy G and CMC and Brandon Ayuk and Debo's back, and Mitchell's even available. So,
Mitchell's back, huh?
Yeah, he's not going to be like a big factor, but you bring him in every now and then to give McCaffrey a little blow.
You can also bring him into the backfield, slide McCaffrey into the slot.
Right. I mean, that's why I think the big scorer in this game is going to be Jimmy G. He's either going to flop big or he's going to have a great day because he's got no excuses this week.
I'll tell you, something tells me, and Tommy, we've been watching Jimmy G since he came into the league with the Patriots.
Yep,
he does not step up in big moments. He struggles in big moments.
Well,
that's his career.
If he doesn't do it, you know who the Niners might go after next year? Hometown boy,
Trey Lance,
old guy.
No one's going after Tom Brady's broke butt.
You never know.
Why would Tom Brady play football when he can hang it up and go make $400 million being an analyst?
I think he likes playing football.
No, I wouldn't like playing football after getting my butt kicked as bad as he's gotten his butt kicked this year.
If I could still play it, I'd let somebody stomp a mud hole in me to play.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
We also don't have the amount of money Tom has.
No.
Right.
He can afford all the therapy and from hey. The mailman.
Yep. All right. So we got a question that's come in. Full PPR league, Mooney or Devonta Smith? Ooh, that's a great one.
I kind of like Mooney this week, though. He's I don't know.
Who does Philly have? Philly has
Washington.
I'm going. Oh man.
That's a.
I'm going Devonta Smith. I trust Hurts more of a passer than I trust Fields as a passer. I think Fields will score more points because he runs more than Hurts does. But from a passing standpoint, I'm going with Smith. Tommy?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Smith. Same reason why you're saying. I like Hurts better as far as quarterback goes, throwing the ball to Smith. So I'll go with Smith just strictly because of who the quarterback is.
Howie.
Oh, I'm the contrarian in this group, so I'm going with Mooney. So, and let's make sure we write that down in case I'm right again.
Oh, we won't have to write down. Wow. You're going to remind us because you always
remember. You can mute me, but you can't refute me.
Oh, we will mute you. We will put you in timeout. Okay, let's keep on going. So go with your gut. That's the best advice I can give you. Tommy and I both aren't a big fan of Fields throwing the ball, and when he does, he tends to dump it down.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mooney could be an elite fantasy wide receiver if Fields would trust him more. Fields just
Yeah.
doesn't seem to trust him. It doesn't look for him, and I
Yeah,
don't know why.
he's a good
Yep.
receiver.
He's a
The whole
great
time
receiver.
Yeah.
He's
Yep.
so fast. And if they, if Fields would just trust him more, I would have said Mooney because he's the number one there.
Yeah.
But knowing that he's super high boomer bust. Mooney is. He's either gonna have a really big day or he's gonna have a really low day. Devonta Smith is gonna give you that higher floor, maybe not quite as high of a ceiling. So go with your gut. That's all I can tell you. All right, so let's keep moving on. We were talking about the Niners and Chargers. Tommy, thoughts? Who you expect in this week from those two to have a big game?
I'll go Niners because the Chargers are so banged up. I actually released
Aren't they
Keenan Allen.
always banged up? It seems like they are
I
every
cut
year.
him. Hey, I had to cut Keenan Allen, by the way. I had to.
I saw that.
So pointless being on my team week after week after week after week. Even when he comes back, it's like, does he even stay on the field for all 4 quarters? Is he giving anything? I mean, he's just, whoever. Someone might pick him up. He's balls out. I don't know, but I can't have him on my. You gotta go. But they had too many injuries.
Well, in your league, you don't have a very deep bench anyway in that CBS league, so you can't really.
Yeah, it's tough. So I had to get somebody that's on the field giving me something. Anyways, I'll go 49ers on this, even though Jimmy G is. If I was a 49ers fan, I would be so like. Every game I would be nervous because you don't know what you're getting out of Jimmy G sometimes, man. He's so hit or miss sometimes, man. He has really good games. Some games he just, I don't know what the hell he's doing. But they got good weapons, man. Deebo Samuel is a beast, bro. He's such a beast. I'm gonna go 49ers on this one. I like their tight end. I like Deebo. I think Jimmy G will get his as well this game. So yeah, I'll go that. I'll go 49ers.
And the Niners are coming back healthy, which is really good.
Yeah.
I love Herbert Eckler because Eckler just is one of those.
Oh, and of course, Christian McCaffrey. I'm sorry. Totally
Yeah.
forgot about.
Right. How do you forget CMC?
Totally forgot about CMC. Who
I forgot all about
unbelievable game.
Yeah. I love Herbert Eckler, but that's about kind of where it ends from the Chargers side of things. The Niners side, I'm so interested to see how this plays out with now that they're all back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's going to be fun to watch in Shanahan's. They call him the genius offensive guy. We'll see what he can draw up. It'll be very, very cool to watch. We have a question coming in from Jason. Montgomery or Metcalf? Half-point PPR. Oh. We'll start with you, Howie. Who are you thinking?
Well, the running is going to be so spread out in that game for Chicago.
But they're going. I like Montgomery's matchup better because.
Oh no, I love his matchup, but it's him and Khalil and Fields all going to be running that ball.
Yeah, and Metcalf's going against Tampa Bay in Germany, so
anything could happen there.
Anything can happen there.
I'm going to go with Montgomery. I don't want to. I'm going to go with Metcalf.
You go Metcalf?
Montgomery just not flowing off the tongue today. I don't know why. I'm going to go with Metcalf.
Tommy, your thoughts?
I agree. I'm going to go Metcalf. Listen, man, Seattle's they have you got to give them credit where credit's due. And also Tampa's defense has not been good. They've been disappointing. If you're a Bucs fan, you got to be really disappointed because usually the Buccaneers defense, and they got good players, they keep them in the game. They've just been playing really bad defense. And the way I almost feel like this is like just one of those years because I don't think this will not continue. I'm telling you right now, this is just a magical kind of year for Geno Smith. He's feeling it, and the team's kind of rallying behind him. He's hitting players. DK, as we all know, is a beast. So I would definitely go Metcalf on this one. It's in Germany, so it's not even like a home Tampa game. It's neutral in a way, right?
They love Seattle in Germany. I've been watching the
yeah.
And it's like I guess there was a game 6 years ago or something where the German people just embrace Seattle, and they don't know much about the game. They love their kickers.
They just like sports in general. But yeah, I'll go Metcalf.
And I will go different. I'm going to go Montgomery. And the reason why I'm going to go Montgomery is because who they're playing. That Lions defense is the worst defense I may have ever seen in my life. They are so bad. So
really bad.
I'm starting anybody who's playing the Lions. I mean, I love DK Metcalf. He's fantastic, and he could have a boom day. But, man, it's hard to bench someone who's going against the Lions defense. It is so hard to bench someone.
I agree. I agree with you there. I agree with you on that.
So that's our take. Go with your gut, bud. It looks like you're a Walter Payton fan, so maybe you are a Bears fan. If you're a Bears fan, got to lean Montgomery.
Payton fan. I like Payton.
Yep. Got to lean Montgomery.
Sweetness.
So, okay, we'll jump in. Sit start. Fournette versus Seattle in Germany, or Pollard at Green Bay. Tommy, we'll start with you. No Zeke. Zeke looks like he won't be playing again this week.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why I cut it's another cut of mine that you picked up.
Yeah, I know. I picked up.
I just saw that. Yeah.
I had to. And once again, another guy's just not giving me anything. So get out of here, Elliot.
I've got him and Pollard in my money league, so I just flipped.
God. Yeah. So what Pollard and who? I'm sorry.
It's Fournette versus Seattle, or Pollard at Green Bay.
Okay. I'm gonna go Pollard because he's gonna get the bulk of the carries. No Elliott. I believe this weekend he's out again.
Mm-hmm.
Pollard's been having a good season, man. He will probably be their running back, like moving forward. Like they're gonna figure something. I don't know what they're gonna do with Elliott. They paid him all that money, but I don't know when his contract ends. But he's just not the same. He hasn't been the same since his contract. And I like Pollard too. I'll tell you why too. Even with Elliott in there, I would still pick Pollard because Elliott gets a little bit of carries, but man, like he kind of like Elliott's more of the bruiser, and he kind of like just breaks the defense kind of down. Yeah, and then the defense is kind of weakened up for Pollard to take these long runs to the house. So I'm gonna go Pollard. Yep, I'll go Pollard here.
Howie,
100% Pollard. 100%. With Zeke out, you got to go with
Pollard. Especially with Zeke out. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, if Zeke was in there,
I'd still pick him.
I might pick him, but with Zeke in there, they really share carries. I mean, you'll lose half your carries if they're both in there. So with Zeke being out, Pollard all the way. We're just out my lineup today.
Ooh, this is a good one. Betting question. Bears over Lions, over 48.5 in the cold. Thoughts? Over 48, I would take that because I think they're both hitting 30s because neither defense is very good.
Oh, yeah, I got them like 36 to 38, so I would go over.
Depending on the weather. They're in Chicago. Chicago's but you know the wind there. It's outdoors. It's I don't know.
Football's made for cold.
Yeah, but that's not how you say. Yeah, but it could be windy. There's a lot could factor in. Yeah, exactly. And you saw Chicago doesn't play like unbelievable football when it's back.
No, but they're scoring 30 plus a week.
And I don't see those two teams only scoring like 21, 24 points.
I would take the under here.
Okay.
I would.
Okay.
I would take the under here.
Tommy goes under. I go over.
I'm going over.
Yeah, I'm gonna go under. I mean, but we'll see. I don't know. Yeah. I'm gonna go under. I don't know why.
Yeah. So it's 2-1. We win. Haha, sucker.
Whoa, we'll win. You'll see if you win Monday.
Yeah, we'll know Monday, huh?
Yeah.
As you can tell, none of us are really sure. So I don't know how much you want to take betting advice from guys who don't do the betting.
Honestly, though, like I don't know the whole. I would factor that in if you truly are making some kind of bet into the weather. Like honestly, like game day weather.
Yeah.
Like that's where I would really. If you're betting, meaning you're putting some money, I don't know how much you're doing, but I would definitely take that in consideration. Because Chicago does not play good in bad weather conditions. Look at earlier in the season. They were very low. Not. And Detroit, Goff. Goff came from L.A. He is not he plays in a dome. He is not Mr. Outdoorsy.
It's not even that he came from L.A. He played.
No, I'm just saying he's
Cal as well.
That's what I mean. He's
been a West Coast guy his whole life.
And he got traded to a dome state. It's not even like he's playing in a cold state. He's playing in a dome. So. That's what I'm saying. I would factor the weather in when doing this. I can get behind that.
So then Fournette, Pollard. I also agree. I think it's Pollard, but I think it's going to be Pollard for a different reason. The Green Bay defense gets gashed against the run. They give up so much. Like, let's go back a couple weeks ago when the Bills played them. Devin Singletary was having a fantastic first half before all of a sudden we stopped running the ball. Everybody plays. They're one of the best pass defenses. I think they're top 5 in the pass defense, but they're one of the bottom 5 in the rush defense. So I would definitely go with Pollard over Fournette. Although I love Fournette, and I think he would be a good. If you have him, start him because he tends to get all those touchdowns, the goal line touchdowns. But yeah, I'd take Pollard over Fournette. Next one, Walker the third at or Pierce against the Giants. Walker the third or Pierce against the Giants.
I like K9.
Okay.
I think the Giants got a little bit tougher D, and Houston's just, I don't know.
Ugh.
He's
I'll
hot.
go Giant. I'm gonna go Giants just because they got a little bit more firepower. They're in New York.
So you're gonna go Pierce at the Giants or Walker the third at Tampa Bay or in Germany really against Tampa Bay.
I go Giants. I go the Pierce on that one.
You go Pierce. You think
Yep.
Pierce will have a bigger day? Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Walker the third. The Tampa Bay's defense hasn't been good and it hasn't been stopping the run. And let's be perfectly honest, if Seattle's gonna win, they're gonna have to get that run game going, and they've been winning because of that. Geno's been great, but he goes great off of play action.
Yeah.
If you just drop him straight back, he tends to struggle. If you can shut down that run game, you'll have a better chance of beating them. Okay, next one. Connor at the Rams, Swift at Chicago, or Jonathan Taylor at Las Vegas. Tommy, we'll start with you.
I'll say it again. I'm sorry, Mikey.
Connor at the Rams, Swift at Chicago, or Jonathan Taylor at Vegas.
Swift. I'll take Swift at Chicago. Once again, going back to the whole weather, especially Chicago's not their middle pack defense. Swift is a hell of a running back, and they're going to run the ball a little bit more, especially with the weather condition. I think a little windy, a little cold. That is definitely a running type game, and he'll get passes out the backfield as well. A little bit short passes. You'll get a little bit of both receiving and rushing. Definitely see him getting a couple touchdowns this game. So I'll go Swift.
And Howie, before you answer, Jason comes in and asks, Dak or Tua? I'm going to take Tua. Dak's going against Green Bay, who has one of the better pass defenses.
You just mentioned that.
Yeah, and Tua is going against the Browns, and they always tend to get their yards. I mean, Tua could throw a 5-yard pass to one of these two receivers,
right,
and they
they're
can take it to the house. You go with Tua here. You play the matchups, and Tua has the better matchup.
Yep.
Tommy, you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay. All right.
I would go Tua just because of the weapon. I mean, weapons alone, the two guys are. Even if you throw short, they're going to get him yak.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to get his points.
Yeah.
Dak doesn't have those dynamic, take it to the house receivers, and Tua has
CD,
two of them. And he got a running back that can catch out the backfield now. So, and he has a good tight end, one of the better tight ends in the league. So, yeah, man. Like honestly, Tua, it would be the bet there if you're going.
Yeah,
I wouldn't.
Tua would be my number one between the two. I'd go Tua as my normal starter, and then play Dak on good matchups.
Yeah,
like if they both have so matchups or they have about equal matchups, I'm taking Tua due to the weapons over Dak. I'm bringing Dak when he has those big matchups. That's just me though. Howie, so to you, Connor at the Rams, Swift at Chicago, Taylor at Vegas.
I like Swift. Taylor has yet to impress me. Matter of fact, I traded him to Mike the other day.
Yep.
For nothing.
For Christian Kirk.
I've already got receivers. I just didn't need him. He's been sitting on my bench all year long, and it's like, we'll move him. Ooh.
Vikings over Bills? ? Josh Allen. I think Vikings over. I don't think the Vikings are beat the Bills, even if Josh Allen doesn't play. Personally,
right.
That's just me.
And I'm not a fan.
Yeah, the Vikings. Everyone's like, "Well, look at them. They're 7-1, or they're whatever, 8-1, or whatever they are right now." I can't remember exactly what their
7-1, I
record is.
think.
7-1.
Yeah.
But the Vikings have been winning a lot of squeakers. And they played the Dolphins when the Dolphins were banged up and without Tua, and they had to punt 10 times, and they couldn't put it away until a final long touchdown run.
And they're
That
really
Yeah,
vulnerable down the middle.
and they're playing
Mhm.
in Buffalo. You got to factor
Yep.
a lot of things in. Even if Josh Allen's not playing, listen, I'm not a Keenum fan. I won't lie and sit here and say the Bills would dominate the Vikings if Josh Allen
I
doesn't
still think
play
they
still.
win.
Like I think they would win, but I think it would be close.
Mm-hmm.
But
I have a
I think
17-13 is what I
yeah,
predict.
I would have faith in our coordinators to do enough to get the job done, to use the personnel we have on the field. And I just don't think the Vikings are going to are as good as like Mikey said, as good as their record says. And our defense, for even as crappy as it's been against the run, still are holding teams to very low scoring. Like these are winnable games that we've lost. 20 points. Listen, come on, guys. We should have won that game last week.
Yeah.
Either way, if we held the Vikings to 16-17, we should be able to win 2017, something like that. So with Keenum. Now, if Josh plays, totally different story. I don't think it's even close. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Howie, you're the non-Bills fan. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, well, I really think the Bills are vulnerable up the middle, and it's gonna be fun to see what Jefferson versus Diggs. I mean, they don't play against each other, but
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to see which one of those guys comes out on top, because I'm sure that's what they're thinking. You know, you got two guys who are at the top of their game,
Well,
and neither one of them today are going to be going with a great quarterback. You know, and now Allen and Diggs is one thing, but Milano's out, right?
No, Milano will be
he's
back,
back?
I believe. Yeah, I believe he's back. Poyer's out, which is still hurts, but I believe Milano is back. I could be wrong on that. Mikey will have to look that up, which I believe he's doing.
Milano is back. The two that are out this week are right now
Poyer
are
and
Poyer and
Gregory.
Rousseau.
Yeah.
Rousseau.
And yep.
Questionable.
Poyer's
are
really
Allen and Edmonds.
yeah.
Well,
Poyer
I'll
is the key. That one is I think affecting us more than Bills fans wants to admit, because no Micah Hyde. And I really think the Bills have to get Marlowe up to date and quick, because I just don't. I really think defenses are.
I don't.
And I like Johnson, but he's not ready. And maybe he's more of a rotational kind of guy. But they have to get some kind of veteran back there presence. Somewhere they have to, because I think teams are starting to expose us a little bit there. And yeah, but Milano being back is huge. It cuts off a lot of that crap that was going on in the last 2 weeks with the running.
Yeah.
But Edmonds now being hurt, I don't know what the hell's going on, man, with our team. But go ahead.
I'll tell you what, if Buffalo
it's so frustrating.
they're going to be in a heap of trouble, because I don't think they have. Well, without Allen, they don't have the quick strike potential, and they're not a big comeback team. They're a lead from the front team so far this year. So, you know, with Keenan in there, with Keenan in there, I don't know. If they don't jump out, there's a good chance they're going to lose this one. And I think the Bills know that if they're resting Josh, they're not expecting to get to win big. So if they don't jump, I'm saying right now, if they don't jump out,
I don't know about comeback.
I don't want Bills Nation to be upset with me, but
we jumped on the Jets and we were up 14-3. I mean, we still lost that game. So it's not.
Oh, we also came back against the Chiefs, and we came back against Baltimore.
Yeah.
So
that's with Josh.
Well, we don't know what Keenum's gonna do. We haven't seen him with the Bills, so I mean.
Well, not with the first offense. I'm still a little nervous with him, but we'll see. Hopefully, we won't see. I'll take that back.
Yeah.
Well, we got that one guy in our league that's JA17 MVP from the CBS league. JA17 MVP.
Justice.
Yeah, I think he's going to change his name today to CK18.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Maybe he's disguised as Josh Allen. He plays like him. I don't know.
That's it. Come in with a mask on.
Oh, here's a good one. Chris Smith, should I drop Braden Cooks? What is going on with Cooks?
Who do you
I
got? Who do you have and who you looking at?
Dudes losing money not to play. There's a problem there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a major disconnect with the GM and coaching.
Yeah,
I mean,
probably
he's
not
losing
gonna trade
money.
him.
Disconnect with the GM and Houston.
Coaching,
No.
everything. The coaching staff, the GM, everything. If you're losing, he's losing hundreds of thousands, man. Like, and he doesn't care. There's a problem.
I tell you what, Chris, drop him and go pick up Josh Palmer this week.
He has Palmer.
Oh, he has Palmer. Okay.
Yeah, he has
great
Sutton,
minds.
McLaurin, Cooks, Palmer, and Landry.
That's a rough one.
But,
You would honestly, I would keep him.
Landry's not
I would
bad.
keep him because your
Stash him on the
lineup,
bench.
but yeah, stash him. But man,
stash
even
him
if he
there.
comes back, it's one of those things. Like, is he willing to play like to his potential, or just going to go out there and get a check? Like, it's risky, man. Like, I don't know what's going on there in that locker room. You know what I mean, Mikey?
Yeah, I would hold on to him for.
I
a
would
couple
too,
more
just
weeks
because you're a
if
lineup.
he comes
Yep.
back.
Yep.
Because you could use him, and he is really good. You could use him in the playoffs
He
if
is.
you make the playoffs. With your lineup and what you have,
I'd
unless you
start Sutton
need
and
the
Palmer
roster
today.
spot. Yeah, unless you need that roster spot, I would just stash him.
Yeah, stash him. Can't hurt.
Okay, here's another one that's coming in. I have both Jeffersons and Cooks in fantasy. Should I be worried against the Bills D, even though they had some injuries? You start those guys no matter who they play.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you have to.
You
have to.
Jefferson's going to get his catches. I don't know if he's going to have a huge day.
100% he will. 100%.
Cook may not get a ton of rushing yards. I mean, if it's the last 6 quarters, he might get a ton. But if it's the previous, multiple games, he may not get a ton of rushing yards. But you'll still see him in the pass game. You're not going to shut that team down. And the Bills don't shut down teams. They still give up some yards. They just don't give up a ton of points.
Right.
They go 20-20. They give it up all day long. They try to hold you to field goals. That's what their thing is. So, I would start both of those guys against the Bills. They have high floors, but they also have high ceilings.
You have to, and they're going to get a touchdown, right? Bills always give up at least a touchdown,
at least one.
right? At least one, and it's usually early on. I don't know what the hell goes on our
first
defense,
drive.
but
Always the first drive,
or it's usually early, right? Regardless, so. Could that be a Jefferson or Cook touchdown? Potentially. So benching them would probably not, I would definitely not be worried about it. I would start him. Like Mikey said, Jefferson, probably 100 yards, but will he get a touchdown? That I don't know. Cook for sure will be involved. Will he get a touchdown? That's questionable. I don't know, but it'd be risky not to start him. I'm
starting both of those guys. Those guys are matchup proof.
You have to
them all the time.
You have to, unless you got somebody that's unbelievable on the bench.
Yeah. So here's the question: start two wide receivers: Sutton, McLaurin, Cooks, Palmer, and Landry. Howie, we'll start with you. So you start
Palmer and Sutton.
You going Palmer and Sutton? You're going to trust Russell Wilson to throw the ball?
Yep. This week.
Whoa.
I think Judy's going to do okay too.
I don't trust him at all.
Tommy, who are you going with?
Trust Landry. I'll go McLaurin and Palmer.
Okay. And I'm going Landry and Palmer. McLaurin's going against Philly, who has a elite pass.
I get it.
So I'm going to go Landry and Palmer. Landry's coming back. It's basically Ben Olave at this point. I don't trust Russ at all.
Right.
McLaurin could be taken out because they're gonna put Sly on him there. Right. Obviously Cooks is not playing right now, so I'd go Palmer and Landry.
Right. I just don't like Landry. Honestly, that's why
I know.
He's so like he'll have a good game like every 6 games.
Okay. Full PPR. Pick one. Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Josh Palmer. I need one of these because I'm starting Judy as my other spot.
Pick
Mike Evans.
One.
Mike Evans.
Ah, man.
He still gets his points every week, regardless. You go Mike Evans.
Yeah, Palmer's playing against the Niners. I mean, he's the only option, but that doesn't mean anything.
I don't mind Cooper. It's close for me, but I will go Evans. He is their number one target. And and he still gets his points week after week, like Mikey said. So
Mhm.
I'll go Evans, but I do like Cooper too, though, man. Honestly, I
Would you
do
go
like
Cooper over
Cooper.
Juju?
I'm going to go with Cooper because
I
Miami
would.
gives up a lot of points.
I would.
I
Over
don't.
Juju?
See, and no. He would just take Cooper over Evans.
Oh, okay.
I would say. See, here's my thing. I don't trust Jacoby. I trust Brady more than I trust Jacoby. That's why I'm going Evans.
No, 100%. And that's yeah. Mikey, 100%. Like, yes.
Yeah.
Now, if there was a different quarterback in Cleveland playing a better quarterback, sure. You know what I mean? But yeah, you got to go Mike Evans strictly because Tom Brady and that
Kansas
offense is a
in
tad.
Jacksonville. Yeah, I would start Juju too against Jacksonville. So
Yeah,
I would go Evans and Juju. Howie would go Cooper and Juju. Tommy would go Evans and Juju. I trust Brady more than I trust Brissett.
Yeah, he's still and Brady's still putting up like 300 yards. He's starting to pick it up a little bit.
Yep.
But they're still. I don't know what's going on.
And with Juju going, Hardeman's out this week too, so that'll help Juju.
Yeah. So let's go. That's a perfect segue into Juju at Jacksonville versus Godwin versus Seattle and Germany. Who will you start and Howie? We'll start with you.
Juju. I'm going to go with Juju. Like I said, Hardman's out, and they got a good matchup against Jacksonville. So that's where I'm going.
Tommy?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. Good matchup. Matchup is everything. So I'll go Juju on that one.
Okay. Lazard at versus Dallas. Ayuk versus the Chargers or McLaurin at Philly. Tommy?
I say it again. I'm sorry, Mikey.
Lazard versus Dallas. Brandon Ayuk against the Chargers or McLaurin at Philly.
God, I'm gonna go Lazard because he's the only weapon in Green Bay. Honestly, he is. He's
15 targets last week. Lazard.
Yeah. So I have to go Lazard strictly because there's nobody else, and he's not bad. He's not bad. He's young, but he is the only guy.
Yeah. Howie, who are you going with?
I'm going with the hometown guy, Ayuk. I guess he's from
by the way,
here.
I did pick him up in our league. I had to. He was sitting there. That's why I dropped. I
would also go with Lazard, knowing that Debo's back, Kittle's there. They have a full complement. He's now like the fourth option or fifth option. Ayuk.
Yeah,
I'm going with Lazard. He gets 15 targets a week when he plays. You go with that guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sliding down. Hawkinson at Buffalo. Gesicki versus Cleveland. Howie, I'll start with you.
I'm going to go with Gesicki. Hawkinson hasn't really shown anything yet. I mean, maybe later in the season, but right now I don't think so.
All right, all good, buddy. Jason, that's what we're here for.
We'll take them all.
You want. We'll take them all, buddy. That's what we're here for. Tommy, for you, who are you going with? Hawkinson at Buffalo or Gesicki versus Cleveland?
I'll go Gesicki just because of the matchup. Hawkinson's been weird, man. I like him though. I would take
really
him.
Good.
I would take him. Game, he had 9 catches.
I know.
And like 100 yards.
No, he definitely. But I just like the matchup better for Miami. I do. So
my only problem with Miami is they don't go to Gesicki as much.
They should. But
he's touchdown dependent.
Yeah, he's very red. They use him a lot in red zone.
Yeah, he's touchdown dependent. He's not going to get a lot of catches. And if you're in a PPR league, that's a big thing.
That's right. That's right.
If you're in a PPR, I would go Hawkinson. If you're in a standard format, I'd probably still go Hawkinson. I just think they're going to use the crap out of him. And knowing that Edmonds may be down, that might be a good matchup this week.
Yeah.
Then our last one for today will be Komet versus Detroit or Tonyan versus Dallas. We'll start with Tommy.
That's a tough one. Komet and who was the other one? Komet.
Tonyan.
What's their matchup on that one?
Komet versus Dallas or Komet versus Detroit. Tonyan versus Dallas.
That's tough. I'm gonna go. Oh God, I'll go Komet.
And you know how much that pains you to go with
I
a
know.
Justin Fields guy.
I
And
know.
Howie, for you, buddy.
It kills me on that one.
Okay. Well, Dallas is going to be all over Rodgers, so he might just have to dump off a lot of shots to
But
Conley.
I think those dump offs are going to come to Aaron Jones and
Right. I don't think I'm not going to pick on it.
Yeah.
But I think that he's got a shot. I like Komet because that running game is going to open up the dinks and dunks so much.
Yeah.
I mean, Mooney might not get anything long, but with all that running, it's just going to open up a lot of the short game for Komet. So I think he's going to have a better game.
I would go with Komet as well. I don't trust Tonyan. I've had Tonyan on my teams, and I finally dropped him because Rodgers just doesn't use him as much as he should.
Right.
Yeah.
He uses his backs.
Yeah. Right here, Chris Smith comes in and asks, "Would you stash People Jones,
Michigan?
How big a league are you in?
Yeah, because it depends on how large your league is. If it's like a 15-man league, then yes. If it's a 12-man league, no. I don't think People Jones is a stashable person.
And
I know he wanted to stash him. I know he's asking because for Watson to come back, but Watson's going to be looking at Cooper and Hurts.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And Watson's only going to in fantasy.
Or
Watson's only going to be really valuable in fantasy for like 3 weeks.
He's an interesting one, anyways. I don't know.
Yeah.
From what I saw at the beginning,
I saw in the preseason. I'm not playing him. That guy looked.
And he has to get from. He hasn't even been practicing with these guys.
Mhm.
Like he's not even allowed to be practiced. So like, if people think he's going to come out as dominant, you got another thing coming because it ain't going to happen, bro. Not right away. I don't think you're going to see.
He hasn't played in almost 2 years.
So I mean, I don't think you're going to see. Even I just think you're going to have to. If you're a Browns fan, you're going to have to wait till next season. Because trust me, he's gonna have to get through that whole offseason.
He's gonna have to get through
preseason again.
All the rust the rest of this year.
Work off the rust. Get familiar with the playbook. Get familiar with the players. You have to have a connection. He's not gonna come in and just start throwing dimes to Amari Cooper. Like they gotta be on the same connection. Fair, you know what I mean? So it may take a little bit. They're gonna have to really start playing. Working with the offseason together or something. I don't know. But right now, it ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, that was a futures.
They knew. Yeah, they knew. They knew. Yep.
All right, so we'll go down into it. Howie's Deep League Diggers of the Week.
Okay. Now, not all these guys are going to do that great this week, but they might not start Najee. So if you're a Pittsburgh fan and you're in a deep league, there's this kid Jalen Warner. Is that
Warren? Yeah,
Warren. He's their backup running back, but he might get a little love this week. And since there's no paper on him, he might be a sneaker. Darius Slayton, wide receiver for the Giants. If you're looking for somebody, I already talked about Cole Kmet. If you're looking for a tight end this week, he's the guy. And I'm really high on Josh Palmer.
You've been high on Palmer for a while.
Well, I have Keenan and Williams in my team, and they're just sitting at the bottom on IR or out. So I look at Palmer, and I look at Everett.
Carter is another one there too.
And Carter is normally their kick returner and stuff, but they've been using him a lot lately. So
they've been using him as their big play guy.
Right. If you're in a deep league, he might give you a little something.
All right.
So that's my and Mooney. Mooney might get something, but I think that's going to be more of a running game and a dink game to come at. So those are my deep digs for the week.
All right. Let's go into Howie's Hot Pepper Challenge. Last week he had Tyler Heineke, 275, 2 touchdowns. Giant fail.
He didn't give me my yardage, but I got my touchdown.
Yeah. You even called his pick.
Yeah, I did. And I was gonna call Sauce Gardner. I was going to say Diggs was only going to get 5 receptions and less than 100 yards. That was my advice from my Bills fan. And that happened. And I think I called that there weren't going to be any receiving touchdowns for the Bills. They did that. So
some bullshit ass throw to him. I don't know what the hell that was.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything spectacular.
Davis should have caught that ball. Davis catches that ball.
You were right too.
They at least score a field goal.
Yeah.
And it's a whole different complexion to the game.
Field goal. Listen, if he catches that, that's a touchdown.
Gardner
because the Sauce was falling. Yeah.
And it would change the whole complexion of the game. But
that was slight passing
around.
around.
Game on one play.
Yeah, they don't call that on a Hail Mary like that though. They just don't call
No,
it
you
5
couldn't.
like that.
I don't know if that was a Hail Mary.
I think Palmer will still get about
Not
6
really a Hail Mary.
That's how they
70, 80
called
yards.
it though.
No, I know, but that wasn't a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
There wasn't like multiple defenders there.
Yeah. Okay. So Chris Smith comes and says, "Do you think Palmer will produce against the 49ers?"
I think he's going to get like 6 or 7 catches, maybe 70, 80 yards. So depending on what
I'm
your
not
league's
a
at.
Palmer guy.
I'm not a big. I'm not saying he's going to get 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm saying, 6, 7 catches, 60, 70 yards, because I think they're going to get beat bad. I think the Niners are going to crush them.
All right.
And I'm a Charger, kind of a Charger fan. I mean, I've just got so many guys on the team. I have to hope for them.
Okay. So who's your hot pepper challenge this week, Howie?
Chris Olave, 100 yards, 100+ yards, and 2 touchdowns this week.
Ooh.
Going up against Pittsburgh.
He's liking eating those peppers, guys.
I like these peppers. I grow them right outside my door. They're yummy. I think I might go get another one just for the hell of it,
I gotta switch this up to something else that he hates then.
Right? He's liking the peppers. Okay, we're gonna go into the X factors. Last week, Howie wins 27.5 to 26.1 over Eckler. Hill got it for him. Tommy comes in third again. So right now, Howie's in the lead with 19 points. I have 17 points. Tommy has 13 points.
Oh, yikes! Gotta make a comeback.
Lucky 13.
Yep.
That's right, baby. Things are turning around.
Hey, just think you only have to win like 6 weeks in a row to catch the lead now. So.
Right. All right. So this week I'll start. I'll go with Barkley, Saquon. Last time I chose him, he didn't do me any good. So I'm gonna hope this counters this week. I like his matchup. Howie?
I'm gonna go with San Francisco and CMC.
Going with CMC, huh? Not a bad one. Tommy, you going with Davis again? And Keenum?
Gabe Davis, baby. Gabe Davis.
No, you're not going Gabe Davis again.
I'm going Gabe Davis again. Going Gabe Davis.
With Keenum?
Yes. So he turns it around. I'm going Gabe Davis every week.
You pick Singletary if you're going to pick a Bills player.
Gabe Davis, baby.
Gabe Davis.
So he breaks out of that funk.
Well, we'll
Tommy's like, I'm so far down anyways. It doesn't matter.
Josh needs to shave his mustache. That mustache has been bad luck, by the way.
Right? That 70s porn stash he's got going on.
Get rid of that crap.
Hey, it fits his attitude. His attitude is, I can beat anybody.
Well, we won't.
Let's see, 2 quarterback flex. Ooh.
2 quarterback flex league. Would you start Derek Carr as quarterback 2 or Jamal Williams or Aaron Jones? I'm going Derek Carr. The quarterbacks tend to give you more points than
a few more at least.
Aaron Jones has been battling an ankle injury, and he's gonna play, but he may not play a bunch. You might see more of Dylan. Jamal Williams, as Swift comes back and gets healthier and healthier, his role is gonna diminish. I'm going Derek Carr in the 2 QB flex league. Howie?
Yeah, you always start a quarterback in a 2 quarterback flex league.
Yeah, you got it.
You're going to get minimum 20 points from him unless he has
you got it.
games.
Your points are going to be, or he could actually even do more. So I'll go Carr as well.
All righty, guys. That's the flex, the X factors this week. Barkley, Davis, and CMC. Tommy, this Davis kills me, my brother. All right. Any final thoughts, Tommy?
No, man, that's it. Got a show tonight, AFC Shakedown. I will be solo. I'm hoping I do have a Saturday night show today that I'm filling in for because Jason can't make it. And we're probably going to actually change that, guys, to Mondays moving forward. But tonight I will be at 8:30 on a Saturday show, Backdoor Bills Talk. I'll see if somebody wants to join me. I'm going to ask Mikey later. But other than that, Sunday, we will be doing post-game right after the Bills play the Vikings, me and Mikey, back to normal time because Mikey is in town again. He's back in town. So we will be on the post-game. And Monday, we will be doing at 9 o'clock as normal schedule. That's it.
Howie, any final thoughts for you?
No. I was wondering, is there anything going on with Hopkins? Because usually you hear his name mentioned
D
numerous
Hop,
times.
it's not D Hop that has the problem. It's Kyle Murray's been dealing with a hamstring injury.
Okay. I just say it's been so quiet with him. I mean, he had a really good opening week when he came back, and then
He had a great first 2
he's
weeks.
just so quiet.
Yeah, two weeks in a row.
Great
he
first
did.
2 weeks, and then he had kind of a down week last week as Kyler got hurt. He tweaked his hamstring. So and maybe Colt McCoy this week.
I just thought I saw some sort of article where they were kind of at each other's face.
Nah.
Maybe that was a coach.
It was part of the new Hard Knock series, and they were on the sidelines, and they were jawing back and forth. But you know what? That happens in the heat of battle.
Oh yeah. I just wondered if it was a big deal. I only saw the
Kyler tends to clash with everybody.
Seems like it, doesn't it? I think he thinks he's the smartest guy in the
He's
room.
feisty. He's a little guy. They have that.
Yeah, he doesn't like that. He
Napoleon.
doesn't like the big man complex.
Right.
Complex. Doesn't like tall guys.
Right.
All right. For Howie, Tommy, and myself, we'll see you next week. Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Redskins.
Boo.